guard. You can basically switch 2 till 5 with them as a team. She gets out and run in transition. I think she's going to be huge for this team moving forward.
13 points last week. You get the feeling she's just warming up too. So looking forward to seeing how she goes tonight. But let's turn our attention to the Sydney Flames. They've had a bit of a roller coaster season. They've had an unsettled lineup. They've had injury concerns, but they still hang on to 4th place at this crucial time of the year as we take a look at their run home. Do you think they're going to make it, Alice? That's a big question.
Look, I'd love to say that Southside Flyers will be making that top 4, and hopefully we still can. We still are mathematically in it. But the Sydney Flames, they have had an up and down season. They've had people in and out. But if they can continue to chip away and get some consistency, they've got a good mix of home and away games. They can string together some wins, and that's what's going to be. Coming home to that last round of playoffs, who's playing the best basketball, who's playing together and getting that top 4.
And to think that it may also come down to round 16 when they play Southside Flyers. So what a fabulous run home we have got coming up. Shanice Swain, we've got 2 of the best shooters on the floor tonight. Courtney Woods for Townsville, Shanice Swain for Sydney, who's number 4 in the competition for average points per game with 16.6 last week against Adelaide. And that crucial win for the Flames, she won the Tiana Mungagahia MVP award for best on. I love the way that she goes about it. She's such an exciting young player in this competition.
She is, Jess, and it's crazy just to see how young she is and just what an exciting prospect she is for Australian basketball and the Sydney Flames. She's great off the on-ball. She shoots the 3-ball at a really great clip. She gets others involved. She's not selfish. She plays really well with her team. She's looking to pass out of that on-ball. She's long, she's athletic, and I think we're just going to see the best of her coming.
So the Townsville Fire starting 5 tonight. Woods, Frolling, Coffey, Cox and Ellis. That's a pretty potent starting 5.
Yeah, they're really big across the board. They have had Alex Fowler starting in that 3 spot. Nia Coffey is coming to that starting lineup, which, like I said, they're so long. They can switch 2 basically till 5. It's going to be a really great matchup here.
And for the Flames, Taylor Swain, George, Tupaia and Morris, they're starting 5 as well as we get ready for tip-off here in the fire pit. It is the Townsville Fire taking on the Sydney Flames. A spot in the top 4 is up for grabs tonight. The fans have packed the house. They always love coming to the fire pit and enjoying the WNBL competition. ESPN Wednesdays, great to have your company wherever you're watching as we get this contest underway. Who's going to come out on top tonight? Tupaia, who played a 150th WNBL game last week. Sydney look to move it forward first. Morris. And good defense here from the Fire early. They created an early stop.
And Townsville know the importance of starting really strong. They've had a few not so great starts at the start of the season, but they're back on their home floor. They know that if they start this game well, it's going to go a long way, and that's exactly what they need, a Lauren Cox bucket to get them going.
We have our first points of the ball game. Flames, as we've mentioned, coming here against the Fire after a comprehensive victory in the end against Adelaide last week as Morris finds her first points of the night. And what was the annual Pink Hoops clash as well.
Yeah, and on the Pink Hoops clash, just an absolutely incredible event by the Sydney Flames and the Sydney Kings as Coffey lets one fly. But what an amazing event it was. They had a sellout game for their men's. They had a huge crowd for their women's, and just a really special moment for Tiana and the group and all players there.
Yeah, it's a wonderful fixture on the WNBL calendar. And you think that would have given the Flames so much confidence the way they played last week?
Absolutely, and it's just about stringing together good wins and good looks, and they have had a bit of an up and down season, so if they can just keep stringing together really good performances. We heard Guy Malloy speak about it's really coming together at the defensive end, and that's where they're trying to engage, and that's where they're trying to get their momentum, is playing that really strong defense. They've got great scorers. They know they can score. It's just about playing that strong defense.
Speaking of great scorers, Shanice Swain lets it fly, but it's off target. Townsville take it down the floor. Coffey pass partially deflected, but it ends up with Cox wide open for 3. It's no good.
And that's a good look by Cox. She's really good at stretching the floor. Shoots the 3-ball at 31%, but another good steal by Courtney Woods there.
They've been all over them defensively early, and they add more scores for Courtney Woods, who gets their night off to a great start. Nearly 5-point lead here to Townsville. Frolling's infringed. A bit of a wry smile. Kayla George, what an incredible player. She is so important to Sydney. So consistent, puts in a lot of minutes, does all the team things.
She's amazing, averaging the 16 and 10, but it's the intangibles that she does. She's a great passer. She feeds the ball well. She's such a fearless leader. She's always getting others involved. She's a superstar of the game.
Sydney will get a good look here. There is Kayla George. One-on-one battle with Frolling and has given away the foul. It's an mouth-watering matchup for us to keep an eye on throughout the evening.
And just as we look at this replay here, I think Kayla got a little bit unlucky by that one, but they're just going to have to both keep their cool. They both want to play hard, but they're both so crucial to their teams, and they need to stay on the floor.
So we've seen Courtney Woods go to ground. A bit of a stop-start so far in these opening few minutes of this contest. Sydney comprehensive, or Townsville rather, comprehensive winners over Sydney earlier in the season. Here's an opportunity through Taylor. She's just a little bit off balance due to the pressure from Cox.
Lauren Cox just doing Lauren Cox things. She's such a great shot blocker and way to stay in that contest and get back and get a tip on that one.
Here's Ellis for the Fire. Looking to find Cox. Out to Woods. Now works her way inside. Gives it back to Cox, who finds the finish. 7 points the advantage now to Townsville. After a good start on their home floor. Taylor looking to respond for the Flames and does so.
2 points.
And they'll be really looking to Taylor to have a big game tonight. She's had an up and down season, but I think if she can get going, she can keep the points ticking on the board for them. That just makes this Sydney team just so hard to guard and makes them so much more versatile on the offensive end.
And they've had to be versatile, haven't they? Given the ins and outs of their roster. Cox. One bounces off the rim. She gives it back to Ellis, who pulls the trigger from downtown. Not this time. Just found a way to adapt, haven't they, Sydney, throughout the season? They'd be given everything that is thrown at them. They'll be pretty pleased with how they're going as we head courtside and welcome in Kate Gaze. Hello, Kate.
Hey guys, just chatting to Shannon before the game briefly. He was very wary of this Sydney Flames outfit. He knew that they were going to come out more aggressively this game, and they sure have. It's very physical out there courtside right now.
Oh,
looks
speaking
very
of physical. See another collision. She's swaying a little slow to get to her feet. She's looking a little sore. You would expect the intensity, the physicality early as well, with so much on the line tonight.
Definitely, and Sydney are trying to keep their season alive. They're in the top four, and they want to stay in that top four, and Townsville are such a physical, big team. So you've got to match the pressure and the intensity that the Townsville Fire bring day in and day out. So they've had a good start here. They've just got to stay out of foul trouble and just keep putting pressure on the defensive end. Exactly like that.
On cue, it ricochets to Cox, comes up short. Ellis with a good rebound. She's off the glass for 2. Swain making a move. Decides to go herself, looking for support to Morris. Nicely done. Starting to settle is Morris into this Flames lineup.
Yeah, she's been really great for them, and I think if she just does the simple things like we see, just screen and roll, get to the rim, players like Swaney are going to pass you, Taylor, Tupea. They're such great passes, so if she sets a really good pick, she's going to get someone open.
Great hustle from the Fire to keep it alive. Cox, though, couldn't find the finish. A chance for Sydney. Great deep defense and pressure applied from Coffey. Out of play. It'll remain with Sydney.
And that's just the length that Nia Coffey provides this team. They're just so long across the board. Coffey, Cox, Fowler, Froling, Wood, she's long as well. So they've got, when they are putting out their wingspans on the defensive end, they are just so hard to get by, and that's just another advantage for this Townsville Fire unit.
How does Sydney combat that?
Look, I think you've got to get them to play defense. You've got to move the ball from side to side. You've got to get inside and outside looks. Don't live and die by the three-point line. Make them play defense. Make them play long defensive sets, and that tires them out. And then you're going to shift the defense and get the look that you want.
Tapia looking for Kayla George, just pass a little too hot.
But that's exactly what they need to run. They need to run open side pick and rolls so someone can help in, and then Kayla can get those pick and pops. She's so deadly on the three-point line, and she can read the play so well. If someone closes out, she's going to attack the rim.
Courtney Woods, deflection from Morris. Oh, another big collision between Tapia and Coffey. Oh, we've seen some physicality so far in this opening quarter. That was a big collision.
Great hands by Morris there. Tapia she had the right idea. I think the floor wipers are going to be in for a big night tonight.
And two players with eyes only for the ball as well. They're both back to their feet, both tough customers. It's an intriguing battle already. Fire with an early 5-point lead. It's been a bit scrappy, but you can see the intensity, you can see just how much these two sides want to win tonight. Almost feeling each other out a little bit in these first few minutes.
Yeah, I think it's just about staying really consistent in this time, and then the game will break open for one of these teams. But I think it will be a real battle for the full 40 minutes. Both teams know how much they want to win this game as Courtney Woods gets a nice 2.
A couple of baskets to Courtney Woods. She's on 4 points. Tapia swings it across to Swain. Open for the 3. She pulls the trigger and knocks it down.
Great find by Tapia for Swain, and that's exactly what they need to do. And that all came from the screen from Morris. Someone had to help on her rolling hard to the basket. Left a wide open Swain on the other side.
Celeste Taylor, 23-year-old WNBA import. As I touched on earlier, is a bit of an up and down season, but starting to find some good form at the right time of the year.
She's averaging the 8.7 points for the season, and I think if she can get going from the three-point line, keep taking this game over for them.
Swain goes for it again. 2 from 2! Nothing but net. That's ominous signs early. If Shanice Swain gets up and going, Sydney are hard to stop. And drawn to within a point. Courtney Woods looking to respond, working on Taylor. Gives it off to Coffey. Now it ends up with Cox, top of the key. Another shot off target for her. Great work from Coffey to clean it up.
And that's great unselfish play by the Townsville Fire. 4 out of the 5 players touch the ball on that possession, and then Coffey just finishing it up on the offensive glass. That would make Shannon Seaborn so happy as a coach.
Just under 4 minutes to play. Close for first quarter.
Also, big, huge congratulations to the Seaborn family. They welcomed in their 3rd little boy, Harry. So congratulations to Shannon, Jamie, and the family. That's super exciting for them.
Certainly is. You love to see it. Another big collision. Tapia and Woods this time collide. Swain for 2. Shields takes it away for the Fire. Beautiful long-range pass to Fowler. Fire add more points.
Saffron Shields just looking up ahead in transition. That's a great run by Alex Fowler. If you're an offensive player and you run out in transition, you will get rewarded. If players want to look up and pass the ball.
Back out to a 5-point lead. Kayla George looking to make an impact. This is her first shot of the night. Fowler again, under pressure, out to Coffey. She started well tonight. Shields. Reset for the Fire. This time penetrates herself and draws the foul.
And the Townsville Fire have been really great on the offensive glass. They've got 3 offensive rebounds as we see Shields here go up against Morris. And that's just going to keep their scoreboard ticking over, and that's something that the Sydney Flames are really going to have to lock down. The Fire are big. You've got to block them out. You can't out-jump and out-rebound them, so you've got to block them out, find a body, and let the smaller guards sneak through and get the ball.
Make sure you're following all of the live stats of today's game in the free WNBL app. You can also check out game highlights, team and player info, and plenty more. It's a fantastic resource. So download it today from the App Store. No worries for Saffron Shields at the line. An early confidence boost. 7-point lead now to Townsville. Sydney looking to claw back momentum, but Townsville have other ideas. Courtney Woods with the steal and gets the job done. And forces a timeout here in the first quarter with 2 minutes and 16 seconds on the clock. A 9-point lead to the Townsville Fire. I'll be pretty pleased with their start.
Definitely, and they've really upped their defensive intensity. They started the game well. Flames had a few really good looks, and then they've just wrapped it up. They've just ramped it up on the defensive end.
Well, earlier today, our courtside reporter Kate Gaze caught up with one of the stars of Sydney so far this season in Shanice Swain. Take a look.
Shanice, it's no surprise to the whole league that you're in the top 3 for scoring this season. What I've been really impressed with, though, is your assists. You're at 4.2 assists per game and in the top 10 for the whole league. Is this been something you've been working on or focusing on throughout this season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've been working on it in practice. I had conversations with the guy about it. I mean, it's more when my shots aren't dropping, I look more towards creating for my teammates. So yeah, definitely something I've been trying to work on.
And the team looks a little different to last season, obviously losing Lauren Nicholson and Tess Madgen. You've had to step into a bigger role. How have you been enjoying that role? Do you feel the pressure?
To be honest, not at all. I mean, I kind of just go with the flow. I just play like I play every game. There's been a bit of nerves because there has been like times where I had to step up, but I mean, it's all part of the game, so I'm pretty cool with it.
And you guys are coming off a huge win against the Adelaide Lightning, a must-need win really with coming into the end of the season. What are the keys tonight to getting the win against an informed Townsville Fire team?
Yep, I think locking defensively for us and execute our offense. I feel like when we really execute our offense and do what we do well, we're pretty dangerous. So yeah, those two things.
All the best for tonight and the rest of the season, Shanice.
Great interview with Shanice Swain pre-game. She's already up to the 6 points for the Flames, but a great defensive stop there from the Fire straight out of this timeout in the first quarter. And really tighten things up as Mansfield onto the floor for Townsville. Cox, beautiful pass inside for Fowler to finish.
And Townsville just attacking that mismatch. They are undersized in that 3 position. They've got Pittman guarding Fowler. So that's a great heads-up play by the Townsville Fire to put her in that post-up as we see Swain just get to the rim with ease.
That's to a tally. 8 points so far in this opening quarter. Courtney Woods couldn't find the response. Dale into the action for Sydney. Swain pulls the trigger for 3, bounces off the rim. Mansfield takes it away. Final minute here of the first quarter at Townsville Entertainment Centre. We're hoping you're enjoying the action wherever you're watching. Fowler picks up a foul. As we get down to Kate Gaze, who was around the Flames huddle in that last time out. Kate, what did you learn?
Yeah, Coach Malloy, he definitely wasn't happy with how the Sydney Flames were looking after the ball. He really emphasised to make sure they look after the ball better than what they've been doing, and also instructed Shanice Swain to bring the ball down, which we did see, and she went straight to the basket for a bucket. So she's just subbed out now, so we'll see how the rest of this quarter goes.
Kate, as Fowler finds herself at the line. Turnovers have been a problem for Sydney this season. They're #1 in the competition for average turnovers per game. They've had 7 already in this opening quarter.
They have, and I think that's really what the Townsville Fire's defense does. They want to push you out of your positions. They want to push you out of your stuff. And because they are so long, they can get hands on things. And you see they're all active on the defensive end. And sometimes it can be hard when you have a team that wants to play freely like the Sydney Flames do. But if they can lock down on their turnovers and keep that under wraps, I think they'll be good for this second quarter.
Dees hands it back to George. Goes herself in the end. Can't get it done. Last chance for Townsville. And they get fouled as well.
And that's going to send Alex Fowler to the line. And that's just something that the Flames have got to do better with. You just can't be fouling on a possession like that. That's just an easy 2 points for the Townsville Fire and Alex Fowler.
Former Townsville junior is Alex Fowler. He's come through the ranks. Second time at a charity stripe.
Commentator's curse right there. Said it was
It
an easy
always
two.
Make sure you stay powered with Signet, Australia's favourite power bank brand. Keep your devices charged and never miss a moment. Visit signet.com to find your perfect power bank. An 11-point lead to Townsville as the seconds tick down towards quarter time. Sydney just looking to keep in touch and give themselves some momentum. Can't find that opportunity. Townsville want to put their foot down. Last play of the first quarter. What can Saffron Shields provide? She takes them all on. And Sydney managed to just hold things up. But a dominant opening quarter for Townsville Fire on their home floor, looking to cement their place in the Signet WNBL top 4 at quarter time. It is the Fire leading 25-14 over the Flames. Welcome back to the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Quarter time and the Fire lead the Flames 25-14. Jess Webster and Alice Kunik with you in commentary. Alice, a strong first quarter from the Fire. Courtney Woods and Alex Fowler, both on the 6 points at quarter time.
Yeah, the Fire have had a dominant first quarter of basketball. They're actually winning the rebounding count 11-4, so they're being huge on the glass, and they've had only 3 turnovers compared to Sydney's 7. So that's something that they've really got to clean up in this second quarter if they want to stay competitive in this game.
Let's head courtside to Kate Gaze for an update. Kate.
Yeah, just at the end of that quarter, Shanice Swain subbed out and was showing that she had a bit of a sore arm. Went down there, she's grabbing at her shoulder, so we'll keep an eye on that for the rest of the game.
Oh no, that would be a massive blow to Sydney. Keep us updated, Kate. Shanice Swain with a potential injury. She was on fire, 8 points in that opening quarter as well. Sydney certainly can't afford to lose her.
No, she's been huge for them in that first quarter, and she's shooting the 3 ball really well, and the Flames are shooting it at 33% compared to the Townsville Fire's 16%. But Townsville Fire doing a great job. They've got 18 points in the paint, which is huge, and Maya Morris just giving another 2 ball there, but something they can really clean up.
So Kalia onto the floor for the Flames in this second quarter. Mansfield into the corner. They swing it across and share it around. It's the youngster and Shields. Oh, beautiful pass to feed Fowler. Excellent work.
And the Townsville Fire are just always known for their pick and roll action. So the Sydney Flames really need to solidify what type of defense they're playing and where they're getting their help side from. If it's an open side, who's going to be that help to really clog the key and make their looks hard? Get them to have 3-point looks. They're not shooting the 3 ball particularly well.
13 points, the lead to the Fire at the moment. Woods looking to add to that. Bounces off the rim. George shares it with Tapia. They haven't quite got their offensive game going yet, Sydney. Looking, Kayla George manufacture. Wants to find support, but it's another turnover to Sydney. And Townsville can generally make you pay. Shields can't on that occasion. Froling goes to ground in the battle with Tapia.
And that's better defense by the Sydney Flames. They just clogged in the paint. They made that look difficult for Saffron Shields. She was in a little bit of 2 minds there, as we see Tapia and Froling on the floor.
How many players have we seen hit the floor so far tonight? A physical battle.
I'm just glad I'm not there, because I'd be cleaning the floor with sweat every time.
Mansfield off to Froling. And she's lost it. And that's come off Sydney, so it'll remain with Townsville. Great atmosphere again at the Fire Pit. The fans love coming to this venue and cheering on their home side. It's Froling. That's a couple more. Her first points of the night for Alicia Froling.
And that's their 22nd point in the paint. So the Sydney Flames have really got to lock down, make them take tough shots, make them shoot it from the 3 ball. They're only shooting 14% from the 3.
Tapia. Long range, it's no good. Ellis. Rolling to Mansfield. They look to go inside again. Kick it out to Fowler, and now Ellis from long range. Fowler with the rebound, they keep it alive. Mansfield to Shields. Sydney trying to guard the paint. Shields takes them on. Froling cleans it up, and they find a way, Townsville.
Doing a great job on the offensive boards, the Townsville Fire. That's their 6th offensive rebound, or 7th offensive rebound for the game.
It's now a 17-point advantage. Sydney desperately needs some momentum. Tapia into the corner. And that's better from Kalia, who knocks one down from the corner.
Great look by Kalia, and Tapia just noticed that the help side had shifted a little bit over. They were worried she was going to drive. Great look by Kalia.
Oh, and the response down the other end from Mansfield, equal to the task. The bucket's starting to flow in this second quarter. These 2 teams settling in for a big contest. Top 4 battle in the Signet WNBL competition. Kalia on Fowler. Fast transition from Townsville. A beautiful spin move from Saffron Shields.
And the Townsville Fire are just so deadly when they get out and they run in transition. Get the ball off the rim quickly, 2 passes, easy layup.
So we're heading to a timeout in this second quarter. We're going to take a short break with the Fire leading the Flames 38-19. So 19 points, the difference as we head to a timeout in this second quarter. So the Fire picking up where they left off in the first quarter, and some work to do for Sydney Flames.
They've just got to keep chipping away, Jess. They're not going to win this game in these next couple of minutes before the halftime, these 6 minutes before the halftime break. As we see Shannon Seaborn on screen, I'm sure he'd be really happy with the way that his group has played and the productivity that they've brought on the offense and on the defensive end. But for the Sydney Flames, they've just got to get some really clean looks. Get the ball through hands, get the ball inside and out, shift the defense of the Townsville Fire, and then they'll get greater productivity and better looks.
The Townsville Fire extending their lead in their second quarter, leading Sydney by 19 points. As we take another look at the beautiful spin move from Saffron Shields. Pretty to watch.
She's such a crafty player, Saffron, and she's got moves for someone of her size, and she's a great point guard as well.
So if you've just joined us, Shanice Swain is currently on the bench. I think she might actually be back out onto the floor, which is great news. We'll get to Kate Gaze for an update shortly. She's under a bit of an injury cloud. Ellis pulls the trigger. Outstanding. Oh, they're in superb form at the moment, the Townsville Fire, looking to make it 4 in a row tonight. And they are laying down the challenge to Sydney. Tupaia claws a couple points back. Let's check in courtside with Kate Gaze. Kate.
Like you said, the Townsville Fire are in such great form. Everyone that Shannon has subbed in tonight has made contribution points-wise. They've all scored. And in that timeout, Shannon obviously so happy with how they're tracking. It was just all positive things, looking to draw out the Sydney Flames bigs and get some scores inside.
And exactly right, what you said, Gazy, is they are looking to get the Sydney Flames bigs outside. They've got 28 points in the paint and 14 points off the Sydney Flames turnovers. So they're absolutely sticking to their game plan, and they're being super effective on the offensive end.
There is Shanice Swain back out onto the floor. Good news for Sydney Flames fans. 8 points in that first quarter, but is a little bit sore and has spent some time on the bench so far in this second term. Alicia Froling at the line, pushing the margin to 20 points. Last time these two sides met earlier in the season in round 8, Townsville also had a big win against the Flames that day by 25 at the same venue as well. And given just how tight the season in, the splits are just so important this season.
Yeah, just every single game matters, and actually every possession matters. So you really just want to be really methodical the way you play the game. You want to look after the basketball. You want to play really good defense, and it's building yourself up for those final series that are coming up.
So Tupaia draws the foul. Sydney just need to try and settle a bit here, and as you said, Alice, take care of the ball. Just spend some time in possession. Don't rush things.
And that's what the Townsville Fire defense does. They are so long. They're long, athletic players. So they're gonna make you play quick basketball. That's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to have tough possessions and fumble the ball. And then they've got players like Lauren Cox and Coffey, Fowler, Froling, who are long, athletic players who can get tips, and then they get out and run in transition. And that's when they're most effective.
Sydney from the baseline. Swain trying to get around Ellis. Comes up short. Less than 5 to play in the opening half. It's been well controlled by Townsville. Cox, beautiful feed to Woods. Kicks it out. And knocking it down with a big triple. That's wonderfully done from Coffey.
And I mentioned in the pregame just how she's improved her shooting ability and her three-point percentage. So that's really great for the Townsville Fire to have someone in the caliber of Coffey come into the group and be able to shoot the ball and stretch the floor for them.
There's Cox for 2, rattles out. Morris cleans it up and hands it off to Taylor. Races down the floor. Now out to Tapia. He's making her presence felt tonight. Kayla George, vintage Kayla George.
Tough bucket by Kayla George. She's so good at that. She thinks you're going to go, you think you're going to go another way defending, and then she's able to step back.
That was the first points of the night too from Kayla George. Flames trying to stay in touch here. Final few minutes of the first half. Oh, Coffee, yes, it rolls in!
Back-to-back 3 balls by Coffee. She's shooting the 3 ball really nicely. 3 of 4.
Fans in the house, right behind that. Tapia's physicality has been notable tonight. She's really trying to carry her side at the moment. They're up against it.
And as we look at that replay there, Woods just finds a informed Coffee, back-to-back 3 balls, shooting it at 75%. She's got 11 points, 2 boards to her name, plus 11 on the efficiency. What a great pickup by the Townsville Fire.
As we touched on pre-game, you get the feeling she's just warming up too. Cox with a big block, a blocking machine. Townsville firing on all cylinders at the moment. Coffee go for it again. This time she works her way inside. What a move! Continuing to pile on the pain are the Fire. 26 points their lead. They've now over 50 points. We're not even done in the first half yet. High-octane basketball from Townsville Fire. So far, the Flames just don't have any answers. Woods, a couple of attempts, gets the job done.
And that's their 8th offensive rebound for the Townsville Fire. I'm not a coach, but I'd potentially look at changing things up on the defensive end, maybe looking at going a zone. But when you do go into a zone, you do give up the opportunity that players can get offensive rebounds because you're not matched up to a player. But this is something that the Flames are really going to have to change. They're going to have to put the pressure up on the defensive end and try and soften the blow of this scoring on the Townsville Fire.
Calling all sports teams, say goodbye to travel headaches and hello to CTM Sport. CTM are 100% committed to delivering excellence in their field. Leave the logistics to the travel experts so your athletes can focus on what they do best. Learn more at ctmsport.com.au. So what can they do here? I mean, you've already touched on already. It's probably sound like a broken record at this point, but this is an important 2 minutes of play in the first half because they need to find a spark, and Shanice Swain provides with a much-needed bucket.
Scoring's definitely going to help, but they've really just got to knuckle down on the defensive end. So you've got to get out in the lanes, you've got to push them out of their stuff, just exactly like Townsville do to most teams. They push them out, they make them catch the ball high, and they've got to block out on the defensive end. Too many offensive rebounds as Coffee goes for another 3. 4 of 5 from the 3-point line. Coffee having a day.
This has been an incredible first half of hoops from the Townsville Fire. They've put on 56 points and we still have a minute and a half to go. Shanice Swain, beautifully executed triple. She's up to 11 points, just spending some time in the second quarter on the bench. And that's an important stop for the Flames. They need to make it count, and Taylor can. So timeout has been called with the Townsville Fire 24 points in front against the Flames. They led by 11 at quarter time, and they've put on 31 points if my math is correct, Alice.
That's a huge second quarter of basketball by the Townsville Fire, and they've executed perfectly. They've shared the ball, they've got the ball inside and out, and everyone's touched the ball. They've played really great defense, and I'm sure Shannon Seaborn will be really happy, and this is a great timeout to call. Flames coming back on a little bit of a run. You don't want to get that run to go out too far, so stop the blow right now. So we listen to Guy Malloy.
Shake up. Got it? Shake up.
1:11 left on the clock.
Sit down.
Half time is around the corner. And a three-quarter time, don't forget. Another two contestants go head-to-head. Crowd to Main Central, 10K.
And as we listen to Guy Malloy there, he had a really clear message for his team. Block out, rebound, and don't let them have second chance points. That's what's giving this Townsville Fire this huge lead. If they can clean this up, clean up the turnovers, get good looks, they can bring back this lead.
Nia Coffey. Just been dominant in this opening half, 16 points. 4 3-pointers if you don't mind. Beautifully done, Cox with the finish.
That's a great misdirection play there. They had the pick and roll up the top and then the screen down low for Cox. So the defense was worried about something else and then Cox wide open for a 2.
Final minute of the second quarter, the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Taylor puts one up and it bounces off the rim. They've been everywhere tonight, Townsville, the spread of contributors. So we tick down towards half-time. Oh, the great block from Morris. It's a better defensive effort from the Flames, and that's going to be last touch, and it'll remain with Sydney.
And what makes this Townsville Fire team so elite and deadly is on the bench, they've got 17 bench points. So to have the rotations come in and then really provide and contribute on all different areas, it just shows their versatility as we look at Swain with a nice backdoor there.
Takes her tally to 15. She's been one of Sydney's best in this first half. So good. And that marks the end of a dominant first half of hoops at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. From the home side, the Townsville Fire looking to make it 4 in a row. They lead 58-34 at halftime. They turned an 11-point lead at quarter time into a 24-point advantage at the main break. They led by as much as 29 points during that second quarter. It's almost like, Alice, they could do no wrong in that first half. Beautiful basketball.
Yeah, they played a great first half of basketball. They were really methodical the way they played.
As we head courtside to Kate Gaze.
Alex, great first half by the Townsville Fire. You're looking like you're really confident out there. How are you enjoying playing in your hometown of Townsville again?
Yeah, I mean, we have such a great group of people, great staff, great organisation. I think what we're doing here is really special, and I think we're just looking ahead, trying to get a championship, but taking it each game by game.
And out of the last few games, you guys have really come together really well. Obviously, the addition of Nia Coffey, she's a superstar. How does it feel playing with her? She has 16 points at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, she's an athlete. Like, she's unreal. It's her third game, and she's already killing it. She fits in so well. She fits our system. I think she's just doing an amazing job.
And for the second half, what do you think Shannon's message will be going into the second half?
I think we just need to take care of the key details. We've kind of like gone backwards a little bit. We started out strong. We just got to lock in on the defensive end. Just control what we can control. The fouls are kind of going both ways a little bit. So we just got to get back to what we were doing good before and up the pressure on defense.
Awesome. Good luck for the second half, Alex.
Thank you to Kate and Alex courtside for us. What an incredible first half of basketball we've seen from the Townsville Fire. They lead 58-34 over the Flames. As we take you to the halftime break, let's check out the top 5 plays from last round.
Great pass.
Shelley. Oh, wonderful block from Tolo.
A better block.
Shelley, beautiful step back inside and gets that one to drop.
Pittman getting in on the action.
How nice was that from Swain though? Nearly out-faked herself, still found the open player.
Great D there by the Fire once again, and trying to turn it into great offense. Shields gets an assist with a behind-the-back pass.
So Geelong extend their lead. Swain puts up the prayer. Oh, yes, she did. The prayer was answered.
It's so crazy that in this day and age, like, periods are still such a taboo subject. It's important that we talk about it, especially in the professional sports sense, because we're badass women and we get periods. Like, it's just part of being a woman.
Anytime the WNBL chooses to support a charity, and I think it's awesome they've chosen a female initiative. I think even the words periods made people uncomfortable a couple of years ago, so I think it's awesome that we've kind of not only are trying to raise money and help this foundation, but also try to end a bit of the stigma.
I don't know if there's any other league who's promoting period poverty, and I think it's super important for women and young girls, because if you're not having access to those super important sanitary items, I mean, I wouldn't know what I'd do without them, so being able to promote that is super important.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that go without, sanitary items that are needed in everyday life. So let's get the word out there. Let's make it a normal conversation to have, because it's something that every woman goes through and deals with, and it's sad to see them not have the products. So the more awareness we can create about that, the better.
An important initiative for any company or league in the country. Yeah, the access to period products can be really hard for some. Some people just don't even consider that as a factor that women have to think about in their day-to-day or routine.
Yeah, I think it's really important for those people who don't have access to quality products. Like, we're very privileged as athletes to, have the support, and most of us probably been able to grow up with those kind of access to those needs. So to be able to stand up for people who maybe don't have access to that is really, really important.
Yeah, I think it's important for everyone, all women have their periods, and something, one, to communicate about it. I feel like there's a little bit of a stigma around it, so just to know that it's okay and we can talk about it, and then to help people as well, like how dehumanising is it not to be able to have period products and that sort of thing. So yeah, I think it's an important round.
Yeah, period poverty round, I think every human has a right to basic, anything that we can do to help everyone with those human rights is really important, and I think, giving everyone any bit of help in that sense really makes a difference.
I love that we have period poverty round because it's something that every woman goes through. It's natural, and it's crazy that not everyone has sanitary products given to them when they are on their period. For me, it's important for everyone to know, not only other women, but also males, what's going on in our world and how everyone should have equal opportunity to sanitary products.
Welcome back to WNBL Wednesdays on ESPN, brought to you by Ford. And this round is, of course, Fighting Period Poverty round, where the Signet WNBL partners with Share the Dignity to raise much-needed awareness on period poverty. And I'm joined by a very, very special guest here in the studio. It is Rochelle Courtney, the CEO of Share the Dignity. Thank you so much for your time here on WNBL Wednesdays. This is such an important cause to be raising awareness for. Why is it such an important issue for us to discuss in Australia?
Yeah, look, 1 in 5 in Australia cannot afford the very basic of essentials and are otherwise using socks or wadded up toilet paper or chucks to be able to deal with their period. So it's not something that's not happening to somebody that you know. We just don't talk about it. And I think that's the real importance of this round, is that we're openly talking about menstruation.
And the WNBL have been involved in this cause for the last few seasons. How can the WNBL community and its fans support Share the Dignity and get involved in this important cause?
Yeah, like we said, this is the only league in Australia, actually in the world, who has a round around menstruation and fighting period poverty. And what, the language we like to call it now is menstrual equality. So how do we make sure that 63% of girls don't participate in sport because of their period? How do we make sure that there is access to period products, access to sanitary bins, just the very basic of essentials for females playing sport?
It's incredible to think that we still have this issue, isn't it?
It is, and I think that when we look at this round, this is more than just about the provision of period products. This is about education, removing the shame and stigma and making a difference. And, we're super excited to be part of it.
And how proud are you to be a part of Share the Dignity and be able to showcase this issue in partnership with the WNBL?
Yeah, as I said, it's the 3rd year in a row. The teams get way behind it, which is fabulous. And if we can start to have a ripple effect amongst other sporting codes, that would be amazing. But, I know that there's not a person out there that you and I know who wouldn't give a period product to somebody in a bathroom who needed it. So how do we know better and do better?
Well, we thank you so much for all the work that you're doing to raise awareness on this really important cause. And we love partnering with Share the Dignity in the WNBL to let viewers know this is an important cause. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. And all we can do now is get yourself some bloody good socks and go online and donate where you can.
Absolutely. Please do that. It is halftime here at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. The Townsville Fire well on top. They lead the Sydney Flames by 24 points. We've got a big second half coming. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Townsville Entertainment Centre. Half-time, the Fire well on top by 24 points. And you may notice today that players from both teams have a purple band around the top of their singlet. This band is a powerful symbol of support for survivors of domestic violence. And this season, the WNBL, its clubs, athletes and the Players Association have united to raise awareness around this critical issue. Enough is simply enough. A life free from violence is possible, and when everyone plays a role, real change happens. So please learn how you can be a part of the solution by visiting Full Stop Australia. So we're underway in the third quarter here. The challenge firmly on the shoulders of the Sydney Flames in this second half to get back into this contest. Jess Webster and Alice Kunek with you in commentary. Alice, as we see Shanice Swain, who was one of their best in the first half, giving it off to Kayla George and Morris. Well defended by Cox, but comes up short, and Townsville take it away. But they could almost do nothing wrong in that first half, Townsville. They were superb.
They were really impressive, the Townsville Fire. They were huge on the O glass. They had nine offensive rebounds, 22 total rebounds. But the Sydney Flames, as we see, unfortunately, we see Taylor down there.
That's Morris.
Morris, sorry. She looks to be in a lot of pain, and we hope that she's okay.
Oh, this is not good signs at all. Yamia Morris, one of their recruits this season. And she's getting attended to by the trainers. We certainly hope everything is okay. But she looks like she's in a bit of pain.
It's never easy to see a teammate go down, and especially when they look like they're in that much pain, and we really hope that she's okay and she'll be back out there for the Flames.
Yeah, Sydney have had a well-documented battle with injuries this year, and even Shanice Swain, who spent some time on the bench in that second quarter, she's managed to take her place back out onto the floor, but there are some concerns here for Morris. Should be well assisted by the trainers and well looked after. Getting some nice applause from the fans here at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. As we take a moment here in the start of the third quarter, as Morris makes her way to the bench.
We might just look at the replay, what happened here. So we see she goes to defend the screen.
Oh, almost a friendly fire, I think it looks like. So Yamia Morris makes her way to the bench. Certainly fingers crossed that is not a serious injury. She was really starting to find some form too for the Flames and settling into this roster.
Yeah, she's been really integral for them, and she's such a big presence on the offense and the defensive end. She is long. She's playing some really great basketball with Kayla George, and they're looking to find each other really well. They're averaging the 8 points and the 5 rebounds. And we hope to see her healthy really quickly, especially the Sydney Flames do.
So we'll get Kate Gaze courtside for us to be all over that as we get play back underway here in the third quarter. Fire with possession. Ellis looking for Cox, but that's well broken up by Shanice Swain. Can this be the spark that lifts the Flames? She has some work to do against Froling. Kicks it out to George. Now gives it to Taylor. Dale back inside to George. Now they find their opportunity, but just can't find a finish. Froling has a few to beat. And well defended by Sydney. Stops are going to be crucial for them in this second half.
They're not going to win this game in the first 5 minutes of this third quarter, so they've just got to keep chipping away at the defensive end, clean up the turnovers, and they've got to get on the offensive glass. They actually have no offensive rebounds for the game, so everyone crash the glass, get on the O boards. Townsville Fire have 8 offensive rebounds, and they're winning the rebounding count 23-8.
That's a massive differential. Here's Taylor working on Froling, tough shot. As we get down courtside to Kate.
Yeah, guys, Yamaya Morris, she's really physically upset down the end of the court there. It's never good to see a professional athlete go down like that, and to be that upset and distraught, I don't think it's very good. They're getting the medical team in now. Wouldn't be surprised if she goes off to get that checked properly at a hospital.
Yeah, thank you, Kate. It looks like it's a left knee concern for Yamaya Morris. We certainly wish her all the best. Shot clock ticking down here for the Fire. And those points won't count, so well defended by Sydney.
Great defensive possession by the Flames, and this is where they've really got to up their intensity. When one player goes down, it can often be a spark for everyone to really step up, and she's been playing some really crucial minutes for them, so everyone's got to play a little bit bigger, help out Kayla George on the rebounds, and get active on the defensive end.
Also got to keep the points ticking over here. Shani Swain's been fantastic again today. This time hands it off to Dale, but well blocked. Woods. Pass looking for Froling. Great intensity shown by Dale.
And it can be really hard coming into a team this late in the season, as Dale has come in as an injury replacement player for Michaela Roof and for Emma Clark. So she's doing really great things, and she's just got to focus on getting defensive possessions, getting hands, getting rebounds, and on the offensive end, just letting it come to her. She's missed a lot of offense with this team, so great job for her to just getting active on the defensive end, as we see Taylor doing exactly that.
Well read from Taylor, and she makes it count too. That's a team lifter. Slowly eating away at that halftime margin. Another collision. What are we up to now, Alice? It's got to be a dozen, maybe?
Yeah, I feel like we're watching a bit of a rugby match rather than a basketball game. But it just shows how much this game means to both teams. Everyone's getting after it. They're getting out on the floor. They're diving on loose balls. They're getting hands. They're getting deflections. It's just the importance of this game for both teams. Townsville want to stay in that third position and potentially move up, and Sydney want to stay in the top four.
And they're hanging on to that fourth spot, the Sydney Flames. The race to the finals has never been closer. Shanice Swain, 15 points for her so far tonight. Dale gives it back to Swain. Looking for some support. George is open. Tapia looking to break through, and well defended from Townsville as they run out of time.
And Kayla George was just the 3 shot attempts on the offensive end. I'd like to see them get her more involved in the game. She's such a great passer and screener, but get the ball into her down low, see if she can go to work.
They really need 3 Kaylas out there, because she can't do everything, right? So Swain pulls the trigger, bounces off the rim.
And once again, Townsville Fire just so deadly out in transition. They get that ball off the rim, and 1-2 passes, and they're on the rim on the other end.
Back out to that halftime margin of 24 points. Tapia lets one fly.
Much needed bucket there by Talia Tapia, and she's so deadly from 3-point range, and she's had a great season in the New Zealand League, so such a great pickup for the Sydney Flames.
Yeah, great to see her back home. Debuted as a 15-year-old for Sydney Flames back in 2012, game number 150 last week. It's great to have her back. Ellis runs into a brick wall.
I was lucky enough to play a season with Talia at the Sydney Flames, and she's such a great player. She's so smart. She's got a really good body. She's strong at the rim, shoots the 3-ball really well. So if she can stay healthy, she's just such a good player for this league, and we're so lucky to have her back here.
Ford Dealers are all about supporting the game here in Australia, from Ford Aussie Hoops to the WNBL. They've been backing Aussie sports and communities for nearly 100 years. So when you're ready to hit the court, your local Ford dealer is here to help you get to the game. Ellis making a moment count at the line. This margin continues to reach new heights.
And talking about new heights, we're just so lucky in the WNBL to just have such amazing sponsors. You mentioned Ford, Signet, sponsors that have been around for so long, and next season the WNBL will be under the Woolamai Group and the NBL. So just really exciting times for the league and the future of Australian basketball, especially for women.
Certainly is. Enters a brand new era. We can't wait for that. We're in for a grandstand finish this current season too. The way the ladder is shaping at the moment. Townsville will come out tonight hungry to find their place in finals. Cox can't get it to go. Into the final 5 minutes of the third. So Alice, if Bendigo and Perth have been, I guess, the front runners all season, you see a nice reverse there.
That's their first offensive rebound, is a Brand Catastano.
It is. So we're heading to a timeout here in the third quarter. The Fire still well in control, leading the Flames 62-41. We'll take a short break and be back with you in a moment. So we know Bendigo and Perth are the two leading teams for most of the season. The way that Townsville are playing tonight, can they give the championship a shake?
Absolutely. We know that the Fire are such a methodical team, the way they're coached under Shannon Seaborn, and they're playing the long game. You know, you're not going to win the season in the first half of the season, and it's about finding form at the right time. And I think the move to let Cooks go and bring in Nia Coffey was a really great move by Shannon Seaborn and the Townsville Fire. It just makes them so big on the offense and on the defensive end. And they were disappointed. They didn't get the championship last year. They missed out on that playoff series to Perth. So I'm sure they'll be wanting to go one better this season, and they've got the team to do it.
Welcome back to Townsville Entertainment Centre. 5 minutes to go here in this third quarter. I'm sorry to do this to Alice, but I'd like to ask you that question again for our YouTube viewers. So the big question that I did ask you as we went to that timeout is if Bendigo and Perth have been, you know, consistent in the top two positions this year, can Townsville give them a run for their money when it matters?
Absolutely, and I spoke about that as Saffron Shields goes for a huge layup. The season isn't one of the first half, the season is one of the back end, and they are putting themselves in really good position there. They've had a shake-up on their roster, letting Cooks go, bringing in Nia Coffey. I think that's a huge thing for them. It makes them so big. 1 through to 5, they can switch. They're big on the offense and the defensive end. And last season, they were disappointed. They didn't make that playoff series, losing to Perth. So we know that the Fire want to go one bigger this season and get to that playoff and potentially win the championship.
They're in all kinds of formidable form at the moment. The block from Cox down one end, the finish from Fowler at the other.
And when you can play the running game the way they do and not have to be in that half-court grind, they get the ball off the rim, they're out in transition. It just makes them so hard to guard.
They do it again. Another defensive stop from Townsville. Great work from Sydney to win it back. 25 points is the difference.
And the Sydney Flames just need to keep chipping away, get good possessions, good looks, set good screens.
Chance for George, who gives it off to Pittman. She's no good. Yeah, they wanted to go fast, but well read by Sydney, just to break it up. Swain, feet set for 3. Not this time. 15 points for Shanice Swain tonight. 16 for Nia Coffey for Townsville. Woods. Great read from George. She gets it back from Swain.
And when I spoke about just how good they are, is they can just switch every pick and roll. So we see them switching with Kayla George, Pittman, the guards there in that 4-5 position. They're just so long, as we see Brand Catastano get after a nice possession.
Great hustle, gives it to Taylor, to George for 2. And they're fighting hard, Sydney. They're trying to stay in this contest with 2 minutes to play in the third. It was Townsville by 11 at quarter time. They blew it out to 24 at half time. They've managed to win this quarter so far by 1. Foot Locker is celebrating 50 years of sneakers. Celebrate their half-century in the current hoop season by grabbing the latest kicks and apparel at your nearest Foot Locker, the official major partner of the WNBL.
And we just had a tech foul on Kayla George there as Lauren Mansfield goes to the stripe. Lauren Mansfield's only played the 7 minutes. She's got the 5 points, but she is going to be so prolific for this team moving forward and going deep into the final. She's got such a great wealth of experience. She's a great point guard, Olympian, and she leads this team really well.
Over 200 games in the WNBL, 10 seasons. Just brings a lot of experience, and that's to the depth of this Townsville roster. Let's get down to Kate Gay's courtside.
Yeah, guys, this Townsville Fire team tonight is playing relentlessly. They're not giving Sydney any chances, and that's just what Shannon Seaborn asked for in the timeout. He wanted them to be great defensively and not let that slip. So Shannon's still coaching them, even though they're up a significant amount. He's coaching them throughout this whole game, and they're relentless out there tonight.
And Gazy, we both know just how hard a championship is to win and just how much you have to do. And we both played under Shannon Seaborn, so can imagine what those training sessions are like, just going at it at the Rockets drill. But that's exactly what wins championships, and that's what won them the championship 2 years prior.
Kayla George earns a foul. She's battled hard tonight, as she has every game so far this season, Kayla George. This is the second matchup between these two sides this season. Townsville won by 25 points earlier in the season. Had the recent dominance over the Flames. Swain takes on Shields. And that bounces in. 17 points now for Shanice Swain.
And she's been really aggressive on the offensive end, and that's what she just needs to continue to do and lead from the front for this Sydney Flames unit.
Flying shot from outside the arc is wayward from Mansfield. So Coffey with 16 points and 3 rebounds for Townsville. Alex Fowler's chipped in with the 10, so she's the only, just the second player from the Fire on double digits rather. They've had such a spread of contributors, but a really good performance so far from Alex Fowler. They'd be pleased with her output tonight.
She's been great for them. She just plays her role to a T. She plays really good defense. She shoots it when she's open. She's 4 of 4, shooting 100% from the field. She's got 5 rebounds, 2 assists, plus 20 on the efficiency. She's just the perfect role player for this team. She can go to the 3, she can swing into the 4, she can defend multiple positions. And you can tell she's just really happy playing at home and playing in front of her home crowd.
It makes a difference when you find that I guess atmosphere and that culture around you can really bring out the best in you.
And she had a great season last season with the Canberra Capitals, or the UC Capitals, excuse me. So she can play in a team, she can average the 20 points per game, but she wants to win a championship. So she's come to a place like the Fire. Being at home with your family, you're always going to be happy, and you know, seeing her friends after being away at college for so long. So it's great to see her just thriving in this Townsville environment.
A lot of players at the moment thriving in the Townsville Fire environment, particularly tonight. It's nicely done from Pittman. They just haven't dropped their intensity at all, the Fire tonight. It has been high octane from the very first moments.
And that's the way you need to play every game. If you're really serious about winning a championship in this league, spoke earlier about just how hard it is to win the championship. You need a lot of luck. You need to have a really good team environment, team chemistry, players that want to score, defend, pass, play their roles. And they know it's not about just this game. It's about building every single game moving forward. They want to go into that finals, playoffs, playing really strong basketball.
As we mentioned pre-game, it was kind of a bit of a stop-start to their season. I think they were 4 and 4 at one stage, but now tonight, if they continue their ways here. They'll win 4 in a row as Shanice adds another couple to her tally. Momentum is everything when you head into finals, and Townsville certainly have that at the moment. Still a few rounds to play, but they're in some kind of form. It's rolling out to Woods. A step through and the finish on the right.
And that was great team basketball there by the Townsville Fire. They had 4 players touch the ball in that possession, multiple looks at the rim.
And that takes us to 3/4 time at the Townsville Entertainment Centre. And the Fire getting the job done over the Flames. They lead 71-49 as we turn for home. Three-quarter time at the Townsville Entertainment Centre, and the Townsville Fire well on their way to winning 4 games in a row and put themselves in the box seat to play finals in this Signet WNBL season. They lead the Flames by 22 points at the last break. Jess Webster and Alice Connect with you in commentary, as well as Kate Gaze, who is courtside for us tonight. Kate.
Yeah, just something to keep an eye on during that three-quarter time break. Nia Coffey just getting a bit of work done on her hip. She's looking a little bit sore out there, which is not surprising with the physicality of this game. But Shannon really making emphasis with how unhappy he was with the end of that third quarter with the defensive effort from Townsville. So Abby Ellis with a steal just then, really answering Shannon's call there.
Thank you, Kate. And it was an even third quarter. It was 24 points the margin at halftime, and Sydney got back to within 22. So more even third quarter it was, but Townsville still well in control.
Sydney just upping their intensity on the defensive end, just getting out the lane, getting out in the lanes, getting hands, getting deflections. They've got players out there like Pittman, Brand Canestano, just getting second chance points for their team. It's not pretty, but they're trying to get it done, and they're trying to find a way for this team to get closer to this margin.
Here's Shanice Swain, 19 points so far for her. She's given it her best as they look for George inside the paint. And the score won't count. Great one-on-one battle with Alicia Froling. Never takes a backward step. As we take another look.
Good to see that both players are okay after that. Kayla George with a great seal. She's such a great sealer down low, and I'm glad that they're getting her the ball. They need to get her some really good looks. As she gives another good look to Swain.
That was beautifully done.
The ultimate 5-man passer. If you can have a 5-man that can pass the ball, she's got 2 assists. She's such a willing passer as a 5-man, as we see Courtney Woods down on the floor.
Another player going down. It's happened left, right, and centre tonight. So Sydney have drawn within 20 here. Anything can happen in 9 minutes of basketball. It'll take an incredible effort from here, you would think.
They've just got to keep chipping away, like I mentioned earlier, Jess. 1 stop, 1 possession, string multiple stops together.
Woods pulls the trigger for 3, outstanding. And even if Sydney don't come away with a win tonight, they need to take something away from this final quarter, because you can't start to drop your heads and let a loss like this, if it ends up being a loss, kind of stick around in your mindset for too long.
Yeah, there's still a lot of basketball to play. There's still 4 or 5 games left for each team, and they want to stay in that final 4 as we see Kayla George get an offensive foul on Fowler.
A little bit of frustration boiling over the crowd getting involved tonight at the fire pit.
And that's Kayla George's 5th foul. And she's been a battler out there for the Sydney Flames. She's battled on the boards. She's been a great passer.
So Kayla George heads to the bench to take a rest after her 5th foul. 4 points for her tonight, 9 rebounds.
And now they are without George, they are without Morris in their 4-5 position, so they're going ultimate small ball, the Sydney Flames. And if any coach can find a way out of this, it's Guy Malloy, as we listen to Shannon Seaborn.
Like shakes power, horns up, the floor action. Let's just pound the ball inside now. Right? Pound the ball inside. Go.
Great access to the fire huddle, listening in to Coach Shannon Seaborn. For a quick and easy weeknight dinner that the whole family will enjoy, pick up a family pack of Latina Fresh pasta and sauce, ready in minutes and so delicious. There won't be any complaints at the dinner table. Find Latina Fresh in the chilled pasta aisle near you. Back underway in this final quarter.
And as we heard Shannon Seaborn in that timeout, they are going small ball Sydney, so he wants them to switch everything on the pick and roll. So if Cox is in the pick and roll, she's going to take a player like Swain, and the guard will peel out to the next player on the defensive end. That's the ability they have, especially when Sydney are so small right now.
Cox with a basket, takes a tally to 9 for the evening. Swain running the floor, goes herself. Just a little off target. Fast transition from the fire. Ellis rides the bump.
And that's what you give up on the defensive end as a big going against a guard like Swain. Swain read the pick and roll. She saw that they were switching, so she attacked the big in open transition. Unlucky to get the finish, but that was a great read by Shanice Swain there.
Yeah, she's battled so hard tonight, 21 points, a couple of steals. For Shanice Swain, continuing her fine season. Here she is for a long-range 2. Nicely done. Open chance for Ellis. No good. Fowler with a rebound to Woods. Only pretty deadly from outside the arc. And there's another highlight.
Back-to-back 3 balls by Courtney Woods.
She's just having a superb season. So is Shanice Swain. Continues to add to her tally, 25 points.
It'll be interesting to see how quickly that they change that defense. They've switched the pick and roll. They've got Cox guarding Swain. Swain's recognized this, so she's gone at her 3 possessions in a row.
Cox has the size advantage on Pittman. Eventually gets the foul.
And I like the fight by Pittman. She's really undersized. She's playing the 4 position. She's been playing it for generally multiple times in this season. She's undersized, but she's got such a big fight in her, and she'll never give up on a possession.
Turned 21 last week. Still a lot of basketball ahead for Carla Pittman. Lauren Cox, one of their key recruits. To push the margin beyond 8, to push their score beyond 80, I should say. Not quite the margin. She's 1 from 2 at the line.
She's got 9 points to go with 7 boards, plus 16 on the efficiency.
She's consistent week in, week out, is Lauren Cox.
You know what you're going to get from her. She's good on the defensive end. She plays a role on the offensive end.
Courtney Woods battling hard. Great work from Taylor in defense. Says to Shanice Swain, you can have it. You've got the hot hand. Fran Catazano into the corner for Dees. Not quite. Cox adds to a rebound tally. Look to go inside to Cox to make the most of that size advantage, but it's come unstuck. So good defense from Sydney. Swain from downtown. She goes for it.
Wow. And we heard from Shanice Swain early with Kate Gage. She's not shy of these moments. She's not nervous. She loves the challenges we see here. She plays beyond her years.
She's up to 28 points. Cox from the top of the arc. Can't get it to drop.
12 from 20 from the field. She's got 2 rebounds. 4 of 9 from the 3-point land.
She'll definitely hold her head high. Fran Catazano's offline. Here's Pittman on the wing. Couple of plays again go to ground. It has been another, and again, it has been a physical encounter all night.
And Cox just getting a little bit frustrated as she heads to the bench. She wasn't happy with the play down the defensive end and down the offensive end. So both teams just needing to take a little bit of a breath, let the air go out of the ball a little bit, calm the emotion, just so players don't get injured right now.
That's the last thing they need if you've just joined us. Yamia Morris is unfortunately out with what we think is a knee injury. Certainly have our fingers crossed for her.
We do. You hate to see a player go down, and she looked like she was in a lot of pain. So sending our thoughts, and really good thoughts to Maya Morris there as we see Tupeya check back into the game.
Let's head courtside to Kate.
Yeah, interesting down here, guys. Nia Coffey just got subbed into the game, but instantly turned to one of the assistants asking or telling them just a quick one. She might need one. So not sure how that hip or injury is going for her, but something to keep an eye on.
Certainly in that first half, she was putting together her best game since rejoining the WNBL. 16 points. 3 rebounds back out onto the floor for these last few minutes. We'll see how she goes.
And a super efficient 16 points, 6 of 8, 75% field goal, 4 of 6 from the 3-point line. She's got 3 rebounds in just 21 minutes of play. So what a luxury they've brought in to have her in this lineup and in the starting lineup. She goes into that 3 spot and just adds a lot of length, a lot of size there, and a lot of athleticism for the Townsville Fire as Froling gets another one to drop.
Block also onto the floor. Swain again. You just can't take your eyes off her.
She's got 31. She's trying to keep this team in this game. Coffey lets another one go.
From the corner, Swain with a rebound. She will not die wondering tonight. If she pulled the trigger, she'll take on Froling. She's trying to find her way through. And she draws the contact. ...31 points. 5 from 10 from three-point range.
And she's just such the complete three deep player. She can get to the rim, she can pass the ball, she gets others involved, and she's a great three-point shooter. And she's adding those extra elements to her game. She gets steals, she gets deflections, she plays good defense. She's signed with the Los Angeles Sparks, and hopefully see her in the WNBA, another Australian in the WNBA this season. And what a talent she is, and what an exciting prospect she is for Australian basketball.
I can't believe she's still only 21 years of age. To think how much upside she has is scary, isn't it?
She's got huge upside. She looks like a really great teammate, great person. She gets around her teammates, and that's the type of player you want on your team.
So the Flames are within 20 points here with 4 minutes left on the clock. Lock for 3. Rattles out. Good rebound from Froling. Keeps it alive. Gives it to Fowler. He's been good tonight. She's offline. Swain stealing it at the moment. 31 points. Wants more points! This is unbelievable from Shanice Swain. That is her 6th three-pointer. Fire looking to steady. Lock.
And the Townsville Fire just relentless on the offensive boards. Even if they're not getting it, they're getting a hand to it. They've got 13 offensive rebounds for the game.
Shanice Swain heads to the bench for what is an understatement to say a well-earned break.
She's got 35 points, 14 of 22.
I don't know the way she's playing. Keep her out there. We want to see more of this. In fact, we're heading to a timeout. So let's take a look at some of the highlights of Shanice Swain.
And what makes just her so deadly is she's got that 35 points. She's got a great ability to stop in transition. She has a great change of pace on the on-balls we see here. She wants to attack the mismatch when she gets it. She's got a great feet set. She's got good poise, good rhythm. If you want a bucket, look no further than Shanice Swain.
What an incredible performance it has been for Shanice Swain. Single-handedly almost keeping the Flames in this, coming off 23 points last week against Adelaide. So with the 35 today, that's 58 points in 2 weeks.
I can't see it. She's probably waving.
They've drawn within 16 points, the Flames. It was Townsville by 11 points at quarter time, 24 at half time. And it has been a more even second half, and they've just slightly clawed their way back. 3 minutes to go in this final quarter. An offensive foul against Tupaya. Certainly won't help their cause.
And the Sydney Flames have really upped. There is a tech foul there on Guy Malloy as we see Woods go to the charity stripe. But what I've really been impressed with is the Sydney Flames have upped their defensive intensity, and they've helped Townsville Fire commit 14 turnovers. So they've looked after the ball on one end of the floor, and they've really pressured them as we see Brand Canisano up in the lanes, pressuring up the floor. Players getting hands in it, and then getting out and running in transition.
A turnover from the Fire. Sydney make them pay. Swinging across, it ends up with Brand Canisano. In the corner, it drops!
She's the ultimate 3-and-D player, is a Brand Canisano. She can stretch the floor on the 3-ball. Great defense, always hustling, as we see here. Just extra possessions.
Well, they're not going down without a fight, the Flames. Place in the finals, up for grabs. Every game means so much in the run home towards the finals. Fire with possession. And that's going to go the way of Sydney. Home crowd not happy, but this is a big opportunity for the Flames.
Could have been a little bit of a make-up call for the one in the early possession, but I think the refs have really had a good hold of this game. They've kept it fair. With 2 minutes 41 to play, the Sydney Flames are really playing to keep this margin, get this margin lower, play for their pride, defensive intensity, and to show Guy Malloy who can he turn to when there's playoffs, when playoffs are on the line.
14 points the difference, 2 minutes and 41 on the clock. What are we seeing here? Sydney with momentum. They need to continue to get the buckets flowing. It's a travel. Let's check in courtside to Kate.
In that last time out with Shannon Seabohm, he really talked about Townsville Fire's defense, and they want to trap Shanice Swain off the on-balls to get the ball out of her hands, which we just saw then, and there was a turnover there with the travel. So I think we'll see more of that in the last 2 minutes.
What a night she's had, Shanice Swain. 35 points, 6 triples, 5 rebounds. As Woods finds herself at the line. She's money from the charity stripe. It's not a curse when she does it so well. You back yourself there, Alice. I did.
I didn't say anything.
No, I was confident. I was confident.
She had missed one tonight, though. But she doesn't often miss.
Yeah, she's upwards of 90%.
We see they've just upped their defensive intensity. They're sending 2 to Shanice Swain. They're trying to get the ball out of her hands.
And they managed to stop her on that occasion. Less than 2 to go. She continues to fight hard, Shanice Swain. Gives it off to Tapia. She was maybe trying to draw the foul. Comes the way of Townsville. And Woods makes them pay. The timeout is called here with 1 minute and 29 seconds on the clock. The Fire have steadied. And they lead the Flames by 18. They got within 14. Certainly had the momentum, but the Fire will be happy that they've managed to steady in this last minute or so.
And Guy Malloy will be really happy with his team's fight tonight. They lost Morris, Kayla George had the 5 fouls, so I think he'd be really impressed with players that have stepped up that don't play a huge amount of minutes. Brand Canasano, Diaz, Dale, they've been active on the defensive end. As you see, Nia Coffey just still a bit ginger on that hip there.
Yeah, she started like a house on fire. She piled on 16 points earlier in the match. As you take a look at some of her highlights, including 4 from outside the perimeter as well. And she's been hampered a little with a hip injury, but that first half is by far the best output she's had in her 3 games back in the WNBL so far.
Yeah, and her first game was us when she first came here, and it's just going to take you some time to find yourself in a new system and a new team, especially so late in the season. But she's the ultimate professional. She has played in Australia. She played with the Adelaide Lightning. She's got a great body. She's long. She can get to the rim. She can shoot the 3 ball. She's great on the defensive end. So it's only going to be a matter of time before she finds herself in this league and starts being really productive for this Townsville Fire unit.
She looks sore as she heads towards the bike. But we look forward to seeing what she's going to produce in the run home here. Great steal from Shields and the Punisher.
The ultimate confidence 3 by Saffron Shields.
And that is a dagger. As we approach the final minute here at the Fire Pit. They put on a fight in the second half, Sydney. They continue to press. Tapai has been important. Gets around Locke. That's nicely done.
And both these teams are pretty even in their averages. Townsville average 79, Sydney 78. So it's a great job by the Townsville Fire to keep them below their usual average thus far. And Townsville Fire able to put points on the board. Had multiple scorers, 5 players in double figures, 1 player on 9. So they've had a really great even spread of scoring. They've been great on the defensive end. And they've smashed them on the boards, 41 rebounds to 27.
That's incredible. It was an outstanding first half, Townsville. They put on 58 points by half-time. So Sydney have done well to just hold them to 31 points in the second half so far. The damage was done, you feel. Swain, she's not done yet! This is incredible from Shanice Swain.
On her way to a 40-piece, Shanice Swain. She's got 38 in the game. And she's been super impressive. She's put the team on her back. She's tried to will them over the line. No Kayla, no Morris. And she's done it with a lot of heat on her.
Incredible performance from Shanice Swain. Never say die attitude. Good steal from Brian Catazano. And the Flames capitalise. They've lost it. That might have come off Townsville last. Final 20 seconds. Can she crack the 40, Shanice Swain? From the line for 2! And she's done it! 40 points from Shanice Swain.
Super impressive performance there. 16 of 25, 6 rebounds, an assist, two steals, a block.
Well, Shanice Swain and the Sydney Flames fought hard in that second half, but the Townsville Fire make it 4 in a row as they look to cement their place in the finals in this Signet WNBL competition. A dominant performance on their home floor. They take down the Flames 89-75.
Yeah, that was a really super impressive performance there by the Fire. They had multiple contributors across the floor. Shannon Seaborn will be really happy with the way his team went about it. They played great defense. They shared the ball. They were relentless on the boards, offense and defensively. And for the Flames, I'm sure Guy Malloy would be really happy with the way his team had some fight.
So it was Townsville by 11 at quarter time. The damage was done in the first half. They set up a 24-point lead in the second quarter. They led by as much as 29 points during that second term. Sydney mounted a comeback in the last. They got within 22 at the last break. They crawled to within 14 points halfway through that final quarter before Townsville steadied to make it 4 in a row and 2 wins from 2 against Sydney this season. They're in third place in the ladder, and they were dominant tonight. And one of the stars of the show, Courtney Woods, is courtside with our very own Kate Gaze.
Courtney, fantastic game again from you. You're leading the way, captain of this wonderful Townsville Fire team. How did it feel out there tonight?
Yeah, and I mean, it's always good to get a win at home. I mean, it's hard when you give another player a 40-piece, but, you know, we'll take the lessons with the win. But great game by Shanice, and we had a great game as well, but obviously that puts a little bit of a dampen on things, but that's okay.
Your 2 American imports, Lauren Cox, Nia Coffey, they've been phenomenal lately, and obviously Cox the whole season. She had 10 points, 8 boards and 4 blocks. Nia was great early. How nice is it to play with them?
Yeah, it's great when you can bring in American imports, especially ones that can kind of play alongside other players. Like Cox is one of those players where some games she'll have 30, some games she'll have 10, but every single night she works hard. Same thing with Nia. So it's awesome to have them fit into the system, and I think it creates really winning basketball.
And every team is coming in for the home stretch. They're coming in to beat you guys. This league is so tough. Every game matters to every single team in this league. How do you prepare for that? How do you recover from this physical game tonight to then play against Geelong on Saturday?
Yeah, I think every time we win, we have about 30 seconds to celebrate. celebrate, and then Shannon's reminding us to stay humble. So I think we kind of just keep it in the locker room, and I think, like you said, any night, any team can beat you. I think Canberra's shown that. I think a lot of teams have shown that. So, I mean, obviously the WNBL is physical, so, you know, do what you can. I'm getting up there, getting into my late 20s, so I'm feeling it more than usual, but trying my best.
Well, thanks for joining us, Woody, and good luck for the rest of the season. Keep playing well.
No worries. Thanks, Gazy.
Thanks so much to Courtney Woods and Kate Gaze for us courtside. The Townsville Fire brilliant tonight on their home floor. Alice, as we take a look at some of the highlights from tonight's match. High-octane stuff. Courtney Woods in the thick of the action early. What impressed you the most about the way Townsville went about it today? So many positives for them to take away, but what were you most impressed about?
They were really impressive right across the board, the way they started the game, their defensive intensity and pressure. You knew that they had come into this game with a way they wanted to defend, and they stuck to it. They stuck to their system. Every time they got a stop, they were out, they were running in transition. They shared the ball. They had 22 assists, 41 rebounds. They moved the ball, they played together, and ultimately they played a really great game of basketball.
Yeah, it was incredible stuff. Courtney Woods leading the way with 21 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. Saffron Shields did some nice things, and I think about a performance like this as well. They got some good performances out of the likes of Saffron Shields. Coffee continues to grow in her 3rd game back as we take a look at some of the full-time stats. And but, I mean, you'd have to say this is a game from Shanice Swain that we will remember for a long time.
Yeah, a 40-piece in any league and a 40-piece in the WNBL is absolutely impressive. To go with 6 rebounds there for Shanice Swain. We know she's so capable of doing that. She's the ultimate scorer. If you want a bucket, look no further than her. She just needs some players to get around her, and I'm sure they would want that start back again. But way to finish out the game, and congratulations to Shanice Swain on that 40-piece.
Absolutely, what a performance from Shanice Swain. Unfortunately, the Flames couldn't get the job done. They went down to the Townsville Fire by 14 points, who make it 4 in a row as they push towards the finals of what has been an incredible Signet WNBL season. That's all we've got time for. Thank you so much for your company. We look forward to seeing you again very soon. Good night.